Prost got away cleanly at the start, with Senna following through in second place. Damon was left to finish second, with Schumacher getting the better of Johnny Herbert's Lotus in a wheel-to-wheel battle to take third place at the checkered flag.
Johnny Herbert was easily the best of the newcomers in 10th spot. And Herbert fourth at this stage in the Benetton.
Mansell then had beaten Prost. Gugelmin was on the rostrum for the first time ever. Herbert had scored his first points.
At the green, Hill managed to get away first, but all eyes were looking further back to a Lacey making a stormer from 6th beneath the pit wall. Into Cots, it was Hill from a Lacey, Schumacher, Coulthard and Herbert. 6th. Lacey and Coulthard were fighting over 4th. Coulthard seemed quicker, but the Ferrari seemed very wide. Lap 46 was the chosen moment. Through Bridge and into Priory, there was a whiff of a gap left open by Schumacher. It was all over. In an instant, we had a new race leader, Herbert, and in a repeat of the Schumacher-Hill battle for the lead, his Benetton was in front of a Williams, Coulthard's. But the Scot had incurred an earlier penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he would have to come in. It didn't prevent him from attacking Herbert first and passing. Finally, it was over at the end of lap 51. Coulthard was in and Herbert was clear in front. Lacey was thus promoted to second, Coulthard resuming in third. 3 laps to go, the top 3 settled. Blundell's McLaren and Barrichello's Jordan were locked in a battle for 4th. The Brazilian was climbing all over the tail of the McLaren when Blundell was able to keep going, albeit with difficulty. At the front, Herbert was stroking it home, unable to believe his luck, but on course for a thoroughly deserved first victory in Benetton's 5th of the 1995 season. Even Schumacher managed to grin amidst the Benetton celebrations. However, start 2. Coulthard got a flyer. Berger was quick off the mark again, this time taking Schumacher under braking for Variante Goodyear. Berger second, Schumacher third, Hill fourth, Lacey fifth and Herbert sixth. After 10 laps, Brundle's Ligier was out, a slow puncture developing into something much worse. Lap 14, more drama for Coulthard. Berger had snatched the lead now and the Tifosi were ecstatic. Coulthard made it back to the pits, but retirement was instant. A failed front wheel bearing the cause of the earlier spin. Lap 24, Schumacher second, Hill third, Taki Inui in the way. Bang! Berger, the pressure was off in an instant, but he still pressed hard. 33, Lacey's camera flew off, bouncing into Berger's left front suspension. The Austrian was out. 2 laps later, it was all over. Wheel bearing failure the culprit. The popular Frenchman was in tears behind his helmet. Johnny Herbert was now the new race leader with a margin of some 18 seconds over second place Mika Hakkinen. For Johnny, it was a second gifted victory this year, but deserved no less after all the years of frustration.
Frenton's off well, charging down to turn 1. Häkkinen's made a great start, up to second and putting Frentzen under pressure as they turn in. 6 laps behind the safety car and the race gets underway. It's just started to rain, but that won't worry Frentzen leading this race. With his competitors dropping by the wayside, it's looking good for Frentzen, despite the odd mistake. It's Eddie whose nerves are on edge. Mika Häkkinen's on wets and Eddie Irvine's on dries. The championship contenders dicing for a lowly 12th place, and the Ferrari driver takes it. There's a problem with the Jordan though. It's slowing. DC's through to first place. Jordan's dream of winning the championship is surely over. The Scotsman now with a good lead. But he's gone off. Unbelievably, he's driven straight on at the corner, across the gravel, and is unable to stop. Giancarlo Fisichella is the new race leader, and he's lost it too. The treacherous conditions catching the Italian out, and a major blow for the Benetton team. Ralf Schumacher moves into first place. The young German's driven a splendid race, never out of the top 4. But he's in trouble now.
In the pit lane, please. Puncture right round.
Incredibly, Johnny Herbert, who started this race in 14th, now leads the European Grand Prix. A fantastic race for Badoa and Minardi too, the Italians up to 4th. While the championship contenders are battling it out for 7th. Johnny Herbert's been outperformed by his teammate all year, but when it counts, he's there at the front and comes round to win for Stewart. It's Herbert's 3rd Formula One win and Stewart's 1st.